Okay, welcome to our presidential class podcast. This morning we have the front runner, Mitt Romney. We got 4 experts ready to break his campaign down and see how well he's doing. Let's start out with the funny story about Mitt Romney. Justin.
Mitt Romney got in trouble with the law for strapping his dog to the top of his roof for like a 12-hour drive.
On his car.
And I got a quote on that, and it's, "PETA is not happy that my dog likes fresh air."
Okay, interesting. Couldn't just roll down the window, I guess, huh? Okay, Charlotte, tell us a little bit about how old is Mitt, where's he from, what did he do for a living?
I found he's about 65, and he grew up in Detroit. And before he got into politics, he was head of a company, and he had this management consulting business. I can't remember what it was called though.
Bain Capital.
Yeah, that
okay.
one.
And pretty wealthy guy?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think they said he's
there.
worth about $250 million, so fairly wealthy. A little bit more money than I have in my pocket right now. Okay, Justin, does he have kids? Is he married? What does his wife do?
He has 5 kids. His wife was Ann Davies, now it's Ann Romney, and she's a stay-at-home mom.
Okay. And Crusoe, we had you look up a list of issues that he has talked about or has opinions on, and give us 2 of those and tell us how he feels about those.
Economy, he thinks doing taxes, shrinking government power, and cutting regulations should bring more power to the states, and that it's very important.
Okay.
And education, he thinks that bonuses to teachers who teach well for charter schools, for homeschooling as well, and that is all very important as well.
Okay. Riley, what about you? What are a couple of issues that you found?
He's against illegal immigrants, but he just doesn't want to punish employers. And I also found that he wants to encourage legal immigration.
Okay. What was anyone hear the big knock about him and illegal immigration? He actually had a couple of... The big knock about Mitt Romney was that he had a bunch of illegal immigrants working at his house, doing his gardening and stuff like that. So anyway, of course he's not against illegal immigration. Of course he doesn't want to punish the employers because he was the employer at the time of these illegal immigrants. Okay, we all know Mitt Romney's had his problems. He's been flip-flopping on a lot of issues and different things like that. But one of the other big issues that people have with him is the fact that he's a Mormon. And we're very familiar with the Mormons because we have a high population in our area as well. Charlotte, is this a bad thing that he's a Mormon? And why would people care what his religion is?
I personally don't think it's a bad thing, because your religion really shouldn't affect what you are doing or what you want to do. And I guess some people just think that since he has that religion and they have a different religion, that's just going to affect probably what would happen if he was made president.
Okay. What do you guys think? Any thoughts on Mormons that detract from what he can do? Or
I just think it's kind of ridiculous because it doesn't really matter. You can look at all the other candidates and see what their religion is, but it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think people, why they even care is because they think it might be like a distraction to him.
What do you mean?
Well, he, instead of working on all of his laws and responsibilities as president, he might get caught up in the churches. I think why people might, but I'm not against it.
Because they think it's a cult.
Okay. Well, okay. And that is, I mean, people have a misconception about the Mormon church, right? I mean, think if we had a president that said, I believe in the religion of, Juja Baba Wana, and I, sacrifice my 3rd child every Tuesday or something, okay? I mean, are we going to vote for that guy? Probably not. So maybe the misconception about the Mormons is kind of hurting Mitt Romney a little bit, right? You didn't hear a lot about it with John Huntsman, which I thought was interesting. But anyway, Mormons, they're taking over the world, right, Crusoe?
Not really.
Okay, were there some other negative things that you guys found with Mitt Romney? Besides, I guess, Mormonism and flip-flopping a little bit?
He's actually said he likes firing people.
Okay, interesting. So let's go around the room. If you guys were 18, would you vote for Mitt Romney?
I'm not really sure if I would vote for him, but I think if he was made president, he'd do a really good job.
Okay. Then why would you not vote for him if you think he'd do a good job?
I don't know, because I think all the candidates have their pros and cons, and I think they'd each do a good job. I mean, people say Obama's like, oh, he's stupid and stuff like that, but considering like what he had to do, I think he did a good job with that.
Okay.
So I think all candidates are doing a good job.
Okay. Riley?
Yeah, I think I'd vote for him. Just, I'm pretty much on the same level of most of his things.
Okay.
So.
Justin?
I think I'd vote for him.
Crusoe?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Crusoe, do you have a problem with somebody saying, I'm going to vote for Mitt Romney just because he's a Mormon? Do you have a problem with that?
Yeah, because they don't look at anything behind that.
Okay. What do you mean? I mean,
They don't look at any other details besides him being a Mormon.
okay. Because there's been a lot of talk out there about people upset because they're afraid that, people will vote just because he's a Mormon or just because they won't vote for him just because he's a Mormon. So that's going to play a big issue here in the election. Some of you said you found some interesting facts about him. Any other stories or facts that you want to share?
Some people were accusing him that he only set up a few companies in the Cayman Islands just so he wouldn't have to pay U.S. taxes.
Okay. That's a big deal.
I found that he once got in trouble for sliding down this hill on ice
At a golf course.
at a golf course.
If that's the worst thing that's happened to you in your life, I think you're doing pretty good. Wouldn't you agree?
Yep.
That and strapping your dog to the car. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, well, that's our podcast on the front runner, Mitt Romney. Couple weeks left until the end of the primaries, so we'll see how he does. But thanks for joining us. On Monday, we'll have Rick Santorum. Thanks.